hope your day is full of cribs and diapers and baby bottles and pacifiers and breastfeeding. We gotta have breastfeeding. I know all you fucking freaks out there are into breastfeeding, okay? We have an amazing episode of Shank for you this week with the one, the only comedian Nikki Bon. But before we get into this week's episode of Shank with Nikki, there's just a few things I want to tell you. One, I am in Austin, Texas. If I'm not in Austin, Texas today, I will be in Austin, Texas next week. I'm opening for Eleanor Kerrigan at the Comedy Mothership the weekend of Valentine's Day. So if you're in Texas, come out. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be me, Kim, and Eleanor Kerrigan. Such a fun lineup. And as always, you can find me here every Wednesday on Shank, every Monday on this bitch. And if you're looking for more ad-free content, patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk, just $5 a month. I'm trying to do more video content on there as well. So yeah, check in with that and let's do it. Let's get into this week's episode of Shank with the one, the only comedian Nikki Bon. Guys, here it is. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only comedian Nikki Bon.
Hello.
Hi. I don't really know anything about you, so I'm excited to have you on my podcast.
That's great.
I know. So first of all, you do these clips. I see your clips of where you pretend to be your dad.
Yes.
Those are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Where does your dad live?
He lives in New Orleans, and my dad wasn't around my whole life, and then he came back because I was like, you come here, you know? And then he came back. And so now he was a drummer, so he's like this really zany, kooky guy.
Is he a drummer still?
No, he's retired. But he was like a professional,
drummer.
Always on tour. Yeah. And now he's back, and he just is like insane. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use you.
Yeah, because you dress up as him.
Yeah. But those started because it hasn't always been my dad that I've done. It all started when an insurance company called me, and this woman was insane. And I was like, this is not a real human. And then I was like, what do I do with this voicemail? And then that's when I came up with the idea of lip syncing weird voicemails and dressing up as the people, interpreting what I think that they're doing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. But my dad always has weird voicemails, so I use him the most.
Yeah, he does.
Insane.
They are insane.
Yeah.
So are you an only child, or you are?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How's your pregnancy going?
It's fine. It sucked.
It sucked? Well, you're at the end.
I'm at the end, but it sucked because I was nauseous for the first
3 months.
First 3 months, and you can't tell anybody. You have to pretend you're not pregnant and be nauseous and then try and act normal. And I was bedridden. And other than that, it's fine, but it's still really fucking scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it scary the whole way through?
It's not even the physical part that's scary. We're comics, so it's really scary to be a comedian that's not successful yet, because everyone's like, look at Ali Wong.
Yeah.
She did it. I was like, she was ready for fresh off the boat.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
So mentally it's scary.
Right.
But physically it's fine. I mean, the beginning, I remember I was like, I'm never doing this again. I was like, I don't know how people have more than one kid. I don't know how.
Everyone's like, you forget about it. After you look into your baby's eyes, you forget about how being pregnant sucks.
I mean, he's not here yet, and I haven't forgotten about it. I'll tell you that. I haven't forgotten about that.
Yeah. Do you have a playlist, a birthing playlist?
No. See, that's the thing. I'm not a mushy-gushy, mama person, you know, that their birth plan and all that, and respect to all the people that do. You're very organized. But I guess everyone says that this is the nesting period where you're supposed to cleaning, but my husband does that, and instead I'm writing and getting my clips done and getting my it's career based because of the fear. So no, I don't have a playlist, but because everybody's story is so different. And what I've learned is you really can't plan what's going to happen. So I kind of don't really want to put all this time into a birth plan and a playlist if I can't even use it.
Because it doesn't matter. Because what happens is going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah. And I have my songs on Spotify. You know?
You have your songs on Spotify?
I
but you don't have any don't picture yourself pushing to like any song particularly.
No, not at all. No. I try to not picture myself pushing or the whole thing at all. I try to picture nothing and just go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you always known that you wanted to be a mom?
No.
No?
Oh my God, no. Not at all.
Really?
Yeah. I always didn't want, well, I was never a kid person.
Really?
No. Like, I was a camp counselor for 12 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like that kind of kid person, but I don't see babies and I'm like, oh my God, look at you. Like, sometimes if a baby like waves at me, I'm like, okay, mind your own business.
Right.
I'm like, what, you want more attention? You're already getting enough.
Yeah.
But I'm a dog person. But I guess I've been with my guy since I was 25. So that's like, you don't get into a relationship at 25 and say, oh, I do want to get married one day and I do want kids. And then we got to the point in our relationship where I was 35 and I was like, oh, shit, my clock is ticking. Because that's
all I think about.
Yes.
I drive around being like, I got to get cummed in. That's all I think about. I know. Time's of the essence.
That's what kind of snaps you into it. Like, that is what happened. And I do want kids now, but it took me a while to realize it because I was just being immature. Like when I think of like getting married, I think of now being old because I'm married and I have to say the word husband and that makes me sound like I'm 60. This is I'm very immature. Okay?
Yeah.
And then after that, thinking of kids, and then it's like, okay, now I'm really an adult and I don't really want to grow up. And I like this life that I live where there's all this freedom and I can stay out till whenever I want. And then all my friends started having kids in Toronto. That was fine because I'm here and no one has kids. But then, when I was 35, I was like, shit. Also, like, why haven't I gotten pregnant by accident? I was like, am I fertile?
I think that too.
Yes.
Let me tell you, the pull-out method, it does work. Knock on wood.
It does, but not for my friends. That's what happened.
What?
All my friends were getting pregnant from the pull-out method.
What?
I know. So then I was like, what's wrong with me? And then I started to be like, maybe I do want kids. And then I matured and I was like, okay, if I really think about my life when I'm 50 years old, do I want a child in it? Or will I be sad that I didn't? Or am I fine? And then I thought about being 50 and my future. And I was like, oh, no, I won't be fine. I'll be sad. So then I went to my husband and I was like, okay, this is hard to admit because we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
And when you never have talked about any of that, it's like you feel like a stranger again because you're like, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but like I do want to, I've changed, you know?
Yeah.
And so I said, I do want kids. And he was like, I don't. And we had been together, 10 years at that point. And
married?
No, not married. We got married 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were going to get married. We were getting married.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't. And he loves kids, though. Like, he's such a sucker for children.
Uh-huh.
That made him sound like a pedophile. He's not. He just likes kids.
Yeah.
And his whole theory was like, well, I don't want to bring a child into this world, like Fukushima, wars, global warming. And I was like, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, don't be a conspiracy theorist. And he wasn't able to admit it for a long time. And he was really immature every time I would bring it up to him. So basically 2 years of our relationship was me being like, no, I'm being serious. Like, I do want kids. And then he would joke about it. And I was like, no, I do. And we in therapy, like we almost broke up at one point because he was like, so you're saying that you would end our relationship for something that doesn't even exist. And I was like, yeah, I think I'd have to because once again, if I'm 50 and I don't have a kid and I am upset about it, I'm going to resent you. It was intense. But then I also was like, I'm kind of the alpha in the relationship. I think like he'll get there.
Yeah.
And so I waited it out like 2 years and then finally he came around to the idea, but not like in a way where like we'd be banging and then like he'd still pull out and my vagina would be like, don't you go anywhere. I'd be like, wait, you get back in here, Buster. I'm not letting you free. So it was hard. It was really hard. And even still, like I could feel his fear as he was coming at me. It's like, no. Like there was like, he'd be like, oh, I forgot. But now he's super, super excited. So it was kind of like I had to mature because our clock is ticking and we have to be the ones to think about it. And then it took him like 3 years to mature. But then it took me a long time to get pregnant too.
It did? How long?
It took me about 11 months.
Really? 11 months of getting cummed in?
Cummed in, yeah.
For 11 months.
11 months. But I will say he's a sound engineer, so he's always on the road. So our schedules weren't, it's not like I was getting cummed in like every day, by him. But even still, like, at first I was going to do IVF to freeze my eggs, and that was so expensive.
It's so expensive. That's what stresses me out too.
Yeah.
And then the people who have it are like, it's horrible. Like
I know.
Like, it's better to just get pregnant.
I know. That's what happened. They quoted me a number, and I was like,
was it like 20 grand?
Even more, it could be. And the consultation is $2,000 alone. And we don't have money. Like, I'm a not very successful yet comic, but he's the one that makes the money. And I was like, if we spend 20 grand, 30 grand on this, it doesn't work. That's 30 grand. First of all, we don't really have that we would waste on what could be for our child.
Right.
So that was a really scary transition when I realized I couldn't freeze, because that's a nice, like, comfort zone, you know?
No, I think about freezing my eggs all the time.
Have you approached it?
I haven't yet, because I don't have the money to do it.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, I'm 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right around the same age.
And that's what I feel like I just had to be a brave little girl and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, I had a friend who did it, who tried to do embryos, and they did 2 rounds and they didn't work. And luckily that friend has money and can afford it. Thank God for her, because I would feel horrible, but I couldn't take the risk. So I started like trying, just getting raw dog more so like this, like, what's going to happen? Okay. And then that wasn't working. And I was like, why isn't that working? And then I started to track, you do your whole ovulation. And that was scary too, because now I'm like, fuck, I'm really taking this seriously. I don't really know. Yeah. I just wanted a mistake. I
know that feeling so well, of like, oops.
That's what I want. I wanted an oopsie-days. I was like, just give me a little oopsies.
Like, I didn't mean to. All
my friends had oopsies. I was like, that's so
for
nice.
Real?
Yes.
From getting pull out?
Mostly from pull out. I have like 3 friends that got pregnant from pull out, and then one friend who was like, okay, fine, let's try, and got pregnant in the first try. And that was an accident. Like, the ones that got pregnant in the first try are like, oh, we just decided like now that maybe we should try, just because it will take a long time and it happens right away. So I was like, yeah, give me an accident. And then it wasn't happening. So then ovulation, and then that wasn't happening. And then I got scared because I was like, well, am I fertile? You know?
Yeah.
And then I had an appointment for fertility clinic, which was going to be expensive again. And then I got pregnant. But then I saw the stick positive, and I cried my eyes out, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? And then I was scared all over again.
Yeah, that was like my friend Stephanie Sambari. I was there when she took her pregnancy test. And it was like watching someone experience every emotion at once. It was like grief, sadness, excited, scared. It was like watching someone on an acid trip in like 1 minute. I've never seen, she was like, and then she was like, wait, this is crazy. Like, I don't have health insurance. Like, I gotta get health insurance. Like, all this shit.
I'll be honest, and I'm not like not grateful for my situation, but I wasn't excited. I was truly like, I was like a teenager that got knocked up, or like when a teenager takes out their parents' car, crashes it, and then is like, oh my God, what did I do? I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Like, I saw it, and it was like this faint little cross, and I was like, no, wait, no. It's like, did you ever take a COVID test and have COVID?
I've taken, yeah.
And you know, when you see that line, the first time you ever got COVID during like the scary
You're
time.
Like, no,
that can't be
I'm
happening.
taking another one.
Yeah.
So how many did you take?
I took one, and I knew, like, because I had weird things happen before.
Like what?
I do like angel cards, like tarot. And a week before, I pulled the birth card.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I texted my husband, and I was like, I don't think I'm pregnant, because my boobs always get, so all the guys are going to be like, I hate this episode. But I'm going to talk about my boobs now.
Yeah,
so, like,
they're going to like that.
They're big right now, okay?
Yeah.
My boobs were like juicy, that's for the guys, and sore. And I always, like, before I
your
get my
period. Yeah, like all the symptoms of being pregnant are exactly the same as PMS.
Exactly. And so I pulled the card and I was like, I'm only sending you this because in case I am pregnant, I want to prove that I'm psychic. But also, I don't think I am because I have all the signs that I'm going to get my period. And then the day I was like one day late and my mom's dog licked my stomach and she never licks my stomach.
That's weird.
It was weird. Like my bare stomach.
Dogs know, dude.
They know. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I went home and I remember driving home and being like, you're not. But then also being like, you should check. And I had this like deep feeling. But I had that before where it's like, am I? And then I had to go to work at the Improv in a half an hour. And then I was like, okay, I just need to know because I'm going to sit for 12 hours. Not that long, but like a long time wondering. And then, so then when I peed on the stick and it started, the cross like was so faint. I was like, fuck. And then it came up brighter. And then I just didn't, it's reality goes away. You're just like, I mean, not everybody. My experience, I feel bad because like there's so many women out there that want kids so bad and they're probably like, you're really annoying with this story. Or there's people that like are so joyous. But for me, I'm an immature person.
Right.
And my fear just like came in that I was like, you can't take it back. Like technically you can't, but not in my position. But it's just like everything, your whole reality disappears. And so I was just so scared.
So is your mom excited?
Yes. So I called my husband. I had to FaceTime my husband because he wasn't there.
Oh, fuck.
He was gone like the whole pregnancy.
No.
Yeah, on tour. And now he's back and he's doing a great job of doing everything because I don't want to. But I called him and it sucked because I was the one that was like, baby, or we're done, you know? And then I called him and I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, well, isn't that a good thing? And then it's so annoying because I was the one who pressured him to do it. So I could be like, yeah. Sure. And then, and my mom was excited. And then I called my best friend who was pregnant too. Like she's my best friend since 3rd grade. And she just went, sucker! And that helped me. Because like you want like... Normalcy, yeah. So it's been a journey. And then for the first month, I honestly like was still so scared. It was really hard to accept. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially when you make it this long and you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm not fertile.
Yes, exactly. You're like, because then I was scared I was infertile. So then I was like trying really, really hard. When I got pregnant, I did the thing where you put your legs in the air.
No.
Yes.
So it all goes in.
It all goes in. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So like marinates.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like joking, being like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
And then it worked. And I was like, oh, so yeah. And then it's just a very lonely, when you can't really tell anybody, but you also can't explain your emotions and you don't want to be ungrateful and you are happy that it's happening, but the whole idea of like your life changing, like I'm like, I can't afford childcare, so I don't know how I will do, who's going to look after the baby at night when I want to do stand-up. I basically was like, my life, my career is over, but I have my mom, so it's
Does your mom live here?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, okay, that's perfect.
So it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
But that's what happens is like my whole identity went away.
Well, yeah, especially when you're a comic.
Yes.
Because it's so masculine and like, you're like, I remember when Ali Wong did her special and she was pregnant, it was like, whoa.
Yes.
Whoa, what is happening? I remember being like, whoa, you can be pregnant and do stand up? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why like I'm still going. Like when you were like, oh, you're going to give birth. I was like, no, I'm doing my nesting is doing all the things.
The work stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also am like, do you guys see? I'm about to get my nipples sucked off for 3 months. I need to get stage time.
Yeah.
Like there's this panic, but it's also just appreciating like the freedom that I have right now.
Right. I mean, it's going to be so good for your material too.
Yes.
It's going to open like a whole new world of material because my boyfriend has kids.
Right. You said that.
Yeah.
So you're going through the process of like, are you like, oh, I don't know.
Well, he has 2 boys.
How old?
3 and 8.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot happening with that.
Yes.
So I don't know. Like some days when I hang out with them at the end of the day, I'm like so tired. I'm like, I don't know if we could have another one.
Oh my God. But you're also like, I want
one.
Have you always wanted one?
I've always wanted one, yeah.
See, that's lucky. that you know that you've always wanted
I've
one?
always wanted one, but then it feels like the path that I'm on, like what you're saying, is so...
And it's funny because I've had a lot of female comics talk to me about this, and I feel like for us, as I said, like Eliza did it, Whitney did it, Ali Wong, but they all are at a place where they own homes.
Right,
you know?
Right.
I don't know if you own your home.
No,
but
I definitely don't own my home.
And so I feel like I have had a lot of female comics coming to me, talking to me about it. And
Really?
Yes. And I'm like, because I think obviously there's other female comics that have kids, you know, that are not at that level yet either. But I kind of feel like for some people, I'm like, all right, I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah.
Like I'm the experiment.
Yeah. Well, also, I remember talking to Christina Pazinski about it, and she was like, don't let Hollywood get in the way of you having a family. Yeah,
I know. Everybody says that, but it's so hard to put yourself in a selfless position to...
Because you're like, I'm the vessel that I have to push this baby out of me.
I know.
Have you done any classes?
Yes.
Was that scary?
Yes. It was
the classes scare me so much. I think I want to go in blind.
I thought it was going to be just up like, oh, this is your body. These are the breaths. And this bitch showed us all these videos. And I was like, hi, I'm going to leave for the videos because I don't need to see what happens.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to see it. And she was like, no, you have to stay. And I was like, what? So I stayed. And at one point when this woman was giving birth, this woman next to me just started bawling her eyes out. And then another woman started bawling her eyes out. And then I just started laughing. And I went, and then they took out this huge placenta. And I went, what the fuck? Like I couldn't.
The placenta is so gnarly looking.
It is like, that's it. I didn't need to see that.
Are you going to eat yours?
Ew, no, but
everyone's doing it.
I mean,
and it's worth a lot of money. You got to.
I was going to say I might sell it.
You can encapsulate it.
I think, honestly, how much money is it worth? Do you know?
How much is placenta worth? I think it's like close to 100,000.
Oh my God, really?
100,000?
I think.
I could sell my placenta for 100,000?
Let's see. I might 50.
50,000? Wait.
And you want it because otherwise, what do they do with it? That is a good question. What do they do with it?
What do you mean?
They dispose of your placenta as medical waste.
So who do I sell it to?
I don't know. Can you get paid for donating your placenta?
Oh, hold on, my bad.
It's the first one under people also ask.
Yeah, because I don't need to eat it.
It's illegal.
It's illegal?
I bet you could sell it on the dark web.
I would sell it. If I knew somebody that could sell it for me on the dark web.
If you're on the dark web...
So you have to take the payment as like a donation.
Oh.
What?
What? Where do I sign up for that?
Payment for the donation.
Everybody's like writing right now about like, hey, you can donate your clothes here. And I'm like, actually, where can I donate my placenta?
I bet there's someone who lost a house that would be happy for a fresh batch of placenta. Some Palisades woman who wants to look younger would buy your placenta in a minute.
I mean,
yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Whoa, okay. I will consider, honestly, if you want to donate to my placenta, I 100%. I'm going to okay, maybe I'll do the capsule thing and then I'll have it and then see what I can get for it.
Like a drug dealer.
Yeah. I think
you put in those little baggies.
Yeah, exactly.
Placenta, like
maybe
a little Coke bag.
Divvy it up. Yeah. I mix it with some like Imodium powder. And
oh my God.
I'm so desperate for money.
Sell your placenta. I mean, listen, I don't know. I have a friend who showed up with a cooler to the hospital for the placenta.
No way.
Yeah, she was like, I need a cooler. I said, for what? She said the placenta. I was like, that's disgusting.
And then what did she do?
She took it and then gave it to the person who encapsulated it. But she took it home.
Oh, so she has to take it home.
She took it home in an igloo cooler.
Is your friend live? Does she?
Yeah, lives in LA.
Can you ask where she got it capsulated?
Yes, I can. I have lots of hippie friends that are like very into like the whole thing.
Okay.
I have friends who gave birth at home, which that scares the shit out of me.
I need drugs.
I have friends who are like, who like love the whole birthing process, and it makes me feel weak.
No. That's why I'm being very honest about all of it. Like, I try not to sound ungrateful, as I said, and jaded, but like, I'm just going to be honest about my perspective of it. Not saying that it's right, but I'm like, I think other people might feel this way. I don't know.
No,
but
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. My mom said My mom said she didn't even want to be in the room when she did it herself.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, you want the drugs. Trust me.
I want the drugs. And also I haven't drank in like, you
know. You need to get high.
Give me everything I can get. I will take.
So was your husband in the class?
Yes, he was in the birthing
What did
class.
he think?
He didn't mind it. He's not squeamish. And it was good for him to see because now he like knows what I'm going to go through. So I think that's like, okay, yeah, exactly. Take me out for dinner, bitch. You know? But I just thought it was really funny because everybody's reaction was so upset. And I was like, why are you showing it? They were DVDs. I'm like, this isn't a class. You're just showing us videos I could watch on YouTube. I felt like I was in sex ed. It was so bad. But it was funny. And I just was like trying to crack the rooms. People would feel comfortable. I was like, yeah, but it was not.
Like, I'm a clown in the birth room.
Yeah, I was like, she like took out this knitted vagina. I don't know what it was. And she was like telling us, this is the baby, it goes through here. And she's using this knitted thing. And then she turns it over and she unzips this part and she goes, and guess what this is? All coy. And no one was answering. And she's like, somebody guess. And I was like being in school. So I was like, the butthole? And she was like, what? And I was like, the butthole? And she's like, no. So, well, you said it all coy. You turned it around and unzipped it. Like, I don't know. You're making me guess. Yeah. And then the audience, not the audience, the other parents in the room.
The audience in your mind.
You know, the audience liked it. They laughed. I cried.
You crashed in the birthing room.
Yeah, I crashed in the birthing room.
Oh my gosh. My mom told me that her and my dad went to a class and they showed a video and everyone was like, whoa, afterward. And my dad didn't care. He went and had pizza like immediately after.
Way.
Yeah. And he was just like eating.
God.
My mom was like, people were like, how are you eating right now?
That was the other thing too, is that she brought banana bread and I was like, it is not the time. It is gross. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Well, when is your official due date?
In 10 days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those balls that you bounce on?
No, I haven't got one of those. Yesterday, though, the doctor fingered me more than anybody has ever fingered me. Like,
really?
He just was like, doop. And then my husband and I have only had sex once during this whole pregnancy.
Really?
Which sucks because I am so horny. Like, I think it's the testosterone that's in me because it's a boy. And I'm like, anything I see, people could just be making out on TV. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And he was afraid of the baby. And then.
Oh, he was afraid of.
He's afraid of poking the babe.
Yeah.
But he was also been away. But then when he came back, I was like, yeah. And he's like, absolutely not. So I got him to do it once. And then he's now comfortable. And he was like, okay, like today we'll do it. And then we went to the doctor and then the doctor fingered me and he went, oh, there's his head. And now my husband's like, nope, I'm not. And I'm like, you fucking cock block. You cock block me. I can't have sex.
Because the doctor felt the head.
The doctor felt the head. I was like, keep it to yourself, man. Don't tell him the head's right there.
No. But it's supposed to be good to have sex.
I know it is. I know it sucks. He's like, well, I'll do the external stuff. I was like, come on, man. I was so annoyed. I was like this close, you know.
That's crazy. So you've only had sex once your whole pregnancy.
Yeah. It sucks. It's not.
And you're like horny. My friends that were pregnant said that they were horny all the time.
Crazy, but honestly, like. The vibrators, like I've never. It's like this, like on, off, good. So
good
it's okay, but it's still like it'd be nice to have sex, you know? But you feel like I also feel it's not like I want to be on my back and be like ooh,
or like on, and then on top is weird.
Yeah, on top is like, weird. Yeah, you just feel,
and then doggy style feels disrespectful to. I feel like to the mother of your child,
and then it's like hanging down. You know, but that's the best way. That's the way that I feel the most comfortable.
Doggy?
Because you're not. Well, I like doggy anyway.
Yeah.
That's
your favorite.
Me, that's my favorite.
That's your go-to.
Yeah. I have a tilted uterus. I found out, so I was like, that makes sense. Why? But then you feel them hanging, but also like at least from the back, you can't really tell I'm pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like you got your boobs and you're like, oh, they're so big right now, but then underneath is this huge belly, so you're not like Ooh.
But you're so cute pregnant. You're like
Thank you.
ideal pregnant person.
Thank you.
Because I'm so scared of just blowing up. And you look so cute. Like your arms are thin, your face is thin. It just looks like you have a pillow underneath your belly.
I don't know why my mom was small, but I also think that it depends on you know what? I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah.
something. I was like, I don't need to go. I'm not cautious about like what I eat when I'm not pregnant. Does that make sense? So I'm not like I'm cautious in terms of like junk food and like processed shit that's bad for you, but I'm not. I eat I eat whatever. So I don't know if it's because like when you're pregnant, you're more hungry and you eat more than you or like things that you wouldn't normally.
Like what are you eating that's weird?
Nothing really, honestly. I was really nauseous. So I think I also lost weight, which
because you felt like shit.
Yeah,
the first
you
3
can't.
months.
Yeah, you're just like. But the one thing that I always just wanted was subs, like submarine sandwiches.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I have friends who are like, the only thing I wanted was bread the first trimester.
Yes, that was all I could handle. But then your body I just got like sick of it. I eat a lot of cheese.
I already eat a lot of cheese.
Oh,
that's like my go-to favorite thing.
What's your favorite cheese?
I love just a classic cheddar. I love goat. I love brie.
Yeah.
I love most cheeses.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not really a cheese. The only cheese I really don't fuck with is I don't love American cheese.
I don't love American cheese either.
Because is that even cheese?
It's not cheese. It's milk.
It's processed.
Yeah.
It's in that weird plastic.
Yeah.
None of that I don't like.
I like that in a grilled cheese.
Yeah. But I wouldn't buy it for my own home.
No.
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
I guess a good brie. Like
a brie is good. Yeah. So like, are you eating like? Do you feel like you want pickles or anything?
No, just the subs.
The subs.
Yeah, but the cheese, we're not. They always say like you can't have cheese like brie, but I have it because it's pasteurized.
Yeah.
So, but I want like stinky brie.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I know
like
what you
the
mean.
good shit. Like my husband keeps being like, we have spent so much money on cheese. You need to chill. And I was like, oh, do I?
No.
Do I need to chill? Yeah.
The brie budget.
The brie budget is not good. I got this one from Whole Foods. That was like $10, but it was so good. It tasted.
Cheese is so expensive.
It's so expensive. Trader Joe's is pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
Trader
Joe's.
That's
where you get your cheese.
Yeah, that's where I get my cheese. They have a lot.
They have a lot, I know. But it's hard because they have a lot of bries, and you got to figure out which is the right one.
Which ones are the right ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you psychic? Do you do tarot stuff? Like, I have tarot cards that I do. Yeah.
You do them?
I consult them.
Salt them? What does that mean?
I consult them.
Oh, you consult them.
Yeah,
I thought you said salt them.
Oh, no, I don't salt them. I'm not a full witch. I don't do anything with salt.
I'm not, I get hunches and like my intuition. You probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm not like I know people that are like, they know their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I consult them as well.
You consult the people that are psychic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got
a psychic. I got a psychic on deck, dude.
I want to know.
She's the shit.
Is she expensive?
She's not expensive, but she's okay. Let me tell you the psychic shit. So in college, I had this roommate whose mom died suddenly, right? And her sister was in the middle of planning a wedding. And the mom knew where the sister's veil was, and no one else in the family knew where the veil was.
No way.
So, like, their family friends, like, I'm going to hire you, the psychic lady. And they're like, okay. So the psychic comes in and is like, the veil's in the garage. It's in the second shelf. They went and the veil was in the garage on the second shelf. Yeah. So so then I was like, I got to meet this woman.
And you met her?
So I met her like in my 20s when I was working at Bloomingdale's.
Okay.
She came to my house, gave me a reading, and she was like, you're supposed to be doing something in theaters. And I was like, no, I'm not. Because I'm like, I'm not a theater. Like doing a theater kid, that sounds embarrassing. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And then fast forward to like now I'm doing stand up. And every once in a while I will check in and consult with her. And the things that she has said have been like spot on.
Really?
Yeah. And it trips me out. Sometimes it's scary because it's like, do you really want to know?
That's the thing. I know.
Because once you know, you can't unknow. And it's like, she's always like, you have your own free will, so it can change.
The paths can change.
The path can change. And sometimes like I've consulted with her and she's seen one thing and then like a year later she's seen something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I was married to that other story you told me before. Like I accepted that as what my life was going to be.
I liked that one. Why did it change?
I liked that one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then she told me something else and I was like, are you sure? You know what I mean?
And then did it happen?
Yeah, it did happen.
Whoa.
Well, because I was with this guy on and off for a really long time. And at first she was like, this is your guy. And then she was like, this is not your guy.
Whoa.
And I was like, wait.
That's so confusing.
And in my heart, I was like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Like my heart was fixed on him. And then she was like, no. It's not. She's like, people change, things change. I'm just telling you what I see right now. And then, but I kind of needed that.
Yeah.
It's weird because
it's psychic help me get over a guy too.
It's weird because it's like, it's stuff that you kind of intuitively know.
Yes.
And I don't think everyone's a psychic. I feel like, there's like, if you're in the valley and you have your house set up and it's like palm reading, I don't trust that.
Yes. I agree. Yeah. And I also want someone who I guess I have more healers because if you're going to tell me something and you're like, hey, this is wrong or this is what's going on with you and you're feeling this way because of A, B, and C, I don't want to then walk out of there and go, okay, cool. I want you to fix it. So I have a healer.
I want like a process.
Yes. I want to feel at least even, I want Reiki. I want something done to me.
Reiki?
So then afterwards I can feel at least like I'm like moving forward.
Yeah.
But it's true. I had a psychic. I'm big on, I don't really spend money on psychics anymore, just healers.
Okay.
But for same thing, my 20s, I was like psychic after psych, different ones. And one helped me get over a guy because she was like, if you don't end this, you're going to just be in this rotation for years and years and years. And that scared the shit out of me. And then another one, same thing. He was about stand-up. He was like, you have a big voice. You're supposed to be on stage with your voice. And I just thought he meant I should be a singer. And I was like, I'm not going to be a singer. And brushed it off and then cut to like 5 years later, I started stand-up. So,
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It is weird. And then like sometimes you don't want to take it too seriously either.
Yeah. Because it's scary.
Because it is scary.
And they might be wrong.
And they could be. And they're just people.
Yeah, exactly. That are seeing things in the moment.
But the lady who I've gone to a few times, I feel like she's legit because she was a psychic and then she stopped being a psychic and started working at like a hair salon.
What?
She was like, it was too much. Like being like a conduit for all of the like different things that come through was like too much.
That's wild.
And she only reads for certain people now because it was like a lot. And I'm like, it must be. If you're an actual psychic,
it's too much information.
It's too much information like coming at your brain.
Yeah, and then you have to decide what to tell people.
And they're paying you to know. And then like
and they want a certain answer. Like we all just go to psychics to be told that everything is going to be okay and everything we hope and dream for is going to happen. And then that's what we're paying for.
I know. Well, I've also been to ones like I went to this one. There was the Los Feliz psychic. She was in the back of this bitch was nuts. She was in the back of a clothing store in Los Feliz.
Okay. How old was she?
I don't know. She was like, I want to say in her 50s.
Okay.
She was off.
Okay.
And she was like telling me I have black energy and I need to spend all this money to come like clean it. And that's the first red flag.
That happened to me too. Not here, but with somewhere else. And it stuck with me. Yeah. Then you're like, well, no, you're just trying to get me to pay.
You're scamming me.
You're scamming me, but now I'm scared I have black energy.
I know. Yeah, no, I know. That's what's fucked up. She was like, and then in the middle of it, her daughter called and was like, I need money, Mom. And I was like, what's happening? She answered the phone in the middle of the psychic reading.
Oh my God, no.
And I'm like, I don't even know about your financial hardships while I'm paying you to give me a reading.
No. And then you have the black energy.
Oh, yeah.
That happened to me too. And my dad was there and he was like, no, they're scamming you. And I was like, well, what if I do?
Oh, yeah.
And that's why now I want somebody who's a healer too. Because, but I did go to a psychic last year. That was the first psychic I'd been to in a long time.
Was it a random psychic?
So do you ever listen to the podcast The Other World?
No. Is that a psychic podcast?
No, it's like extraterrestrial, like ghost stories, all of that.
Okay.
And there was a psychic on it, and she was really, really good, and she predicted all this stuff about like a girl's dad who was dying, and she was like, "Oh, it's the woman that he's with is poisoning her." Okay. So she's in LA. And me and my friend were obsessed. And I was like, I got to see her. Because I'm now a fan. And so I did that last year. And she was very, very good. but she talked about everybody else but me. And I was like, oh. Like, she was like, do you have a friend, Kelly Ryan? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, she's very funny. And I was like, okay. Thank you. What? Here's your $300 to jump. I was like, get the fuck out of here, Kelly. Pay for your goddamn future.
I know. That's so funny.
So annoying. And she was like, your dad. And then goes through him. And I was like, this isn't helping me at all. Like, I know my dad's like that. And now you're telling me about his past. She was, as I said, she was very, very good. But it was just about, and it's just what was coming to her.
What comes through. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, well, God damn it.
That's so crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, the psychic told me I have this one friend, she was like, yeah, you have to be careful not to get addicted to her addictions. And this person is like an actual like full-blown drug addict now.
No way.
And she called it like 10 years ago.
I love psychics like that.
I'm like, damn, dude.
That's cool. This one?
Yeah, the same one.
Wow.
But also, like, do you have like candles and shit? Like, do you go to Higher Path?
No, where's that?
Higher Path is like this woo-woo store. They're all over Los Angeles. There's like one in Studio City. There's one probably in West Hollywood. No, it's not called Higher Path. It's called House of Intuition.
Oh, yes,
that's a dispensary.
Yes, I
Sorry,
go
I'm
there.
mixing up my dispensary with
I was like, what?
House of Intuition.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. I went there after a breakup and I ran into some other witch lady. She's like, you need this, you need this. I'm like, are you working with the House of Intuition? I just dropped $150 on different, like.
I do the same.
How often do you go there?
When I'm depressed.
Whenever I'm in a bad spot, and everyone else who's there is also in a bad spot. No one's like,
exactly. It's like we're going for heroin, but it's just really candles.
It's like candles, and it makes you feel like you're taking control of your life. Yeah. I'm lighting the abundance candle. The second I get home, I'm lighting that abundance candle.
When I got pregnant, the first week, like that I found out, I told Monterey, who is very psychic, and I was like, okay, well, I'm coming to Highland Park, so if you want to come, I'm going to House of Intuition. I need to light a candle. She's like, what? I was like, I need to light a candle because I really need my career to work out before this baby gets here. It's like, so yeah, if I hit a low and I'm like panicking, House of Intuition. I buy the bracelets.
Oh my God. I also have some bracelets. I was wearing a love bracelet. Before I met my boyfriend, I was wearing that love bracelet every day.
You were? But then
I was sleeping in it. I was showering with it on. I was like, listen, I need all the love I can get. I was buying like rose quartz, all kinds of shit.
But it worked.
It worked.
But yeah, I don't.
But it's like, does it work or is it a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Exactly.
Of like, you're manifesting this because I don't know.
I don't know either. But now with candles, I know I've spent so much money.
The candles are expensive.
Like $30.
They're $30. I know, and it makes you feel like you're doing something.
And then you get the little stones at the bottom.
Yeah.
But now I have so many of the same stones because all the candles just have the same stones, and I've had so many candles.
I could have like the abundance candle, the love candle.
So you don't let it go out?
No, because like I get impatient, and then I need to get a long lighter.
Oh yes. Yes, you do.
I'm like, fuck it, it's done.
I did that. See, my husband gets mad because he will be like, you left a candle going. And I'm like, yes, but it is my prosperity candle and I need it right now. So don't blow it out. And then I'll leave. And then he's like, I blew it out. And I was like, well, you can't blow it out. You got to smudge it out.
Because you can't blow them out. You have to smudge them out. The same thing. You can't just blow them out. You got to have a little thing that you got. Yes.
You've taken all the power away. I'm not going to burn down the house.
Now I'm like, what if the LA fires started from fucking some woo bitches lighting some healing candles?
Definitely being like, the winds are going to be bad.
Yeah.
Lighting the candle. And that's what started it.
I will say I'm looking at my candles differently post-fire.
You are?
I'm just like afraid of them more.
Really?
Because I'm like, fire's powerful. I didn't even realize how.
Yeah,
like, what the
true.
fuck, dude?
Do you ever on full moon, I'll do.
Yeah,
and then you burn.
Yeah,
you burn the paper.
Yeah, on full moon, I haven't done it in a little.
What is the paper?
So you write down all the
everything that you want to release.
My bad.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything you want to release on the full moon and everything you want to manifest on the new moon.
I guess I do them both on both.
You do it both on both?
I'm a greedy bitch.
You do
don't
it
know.
every full moon and new moon?
I try to, but I skip a couple. So
I'm out of sorts since I've been skipping the months of telling you things are off.
I know, and then you're like, it's on me.
Yeah.
I did have before the fires 2 weeks ago. I was like, "Ooh, I'm low. I am very low." And then I went to a sound bath, and then things started happening. But the paper, yeah. So you write like, say, I care about what people think of me, right? Like, I think I want to release like my validation based on other people's thoughts. This is just like something I made up. I don't actually think that. So no, and so I write that, and then you burn it, and you put it in this like glass jar to let it burn. But it's dangerous because like the amount of times I've almost set a fire where like the paper like goes on fire and I can't get it in the glass jar.
Oh yeah, I have a little cauldron.
You have a cauldron
from House of Intuition.
Okay, so February 12th, we got
February 12th.
New moon.
The next full moon.
I do the stuff I want to release.
Well, the full moon just happened. Did you do it for this full moon?
I didn't. And as it was happening, because there was fire everywhere, I was like, I don't know about doing this.
I know. I didn't burn anything because I was like, well, the air's already bad. I'm pregnant and I'm about to fill my room with paper smoke.
Yeah.
But I did do a meditation.
You did.
But yeah. When I'm lazy about it, I do try to do sound baths and stuff like that. But yeah, this is our way of not being able to afford therapy. And
it is cheaper than therapy. You can either get 3 candles or one's a therapy session.
Yeah. That's like with my my doctor was like, you need to go back to therapy. My OB was like, you need to go to therapy because I was having bad anxiety. And he was like, you're going to need a therapist after you give birth. And because they also make you fill out this thing to see if you're going to have depression after. And I'm like on the spectrum. I don't know if that's right. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. No, I'm just going to go to my healer.
Yeah. I'm getting a bunch of candles.
Yeah, I'm going to get candles and go to my healer because I can't afford a therapist out here. Also, like, if somebody tells me things are going to be fine, it's going to be fine then.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It sucks when you go to therapy and you don't get what you want out of it.
Yes.
Because then you're like, wait, this was actually a lot of money.
I know.
And now I don't feel healed.
I know. I don't feel like good things are going to happen.
I don't feel cured.
I don't feel cured.
In one session.
Yes, I know. I had a therapist in Toronto and he was very good to me that he gave me free sessions for like my last 3 years with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but he was flaky and my dad is flaky. And I was just like, oh, my daddy issues. Like I used to date players because of my dad. And now I'm like, now I just like get off on a flaky therapist. And when he shows up, I'm getting this high. So it's like, we got to cut this off. And he still reaches out and he's like, Nikki, should we do a session? I was like, I broke up with you. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
But I feel validated that you're going to come crawling back to me.
That's crazy.
I know.
That is crazy. I had one therapist that I loved, but then I found out that he was a failed actor and that changed.
No.
Yeah, but he was dropping wisdom.
That's the problem though with the failed actors.
I need a therapist not in LA.
Yes. And I feel like failed actors
acting like a therapist.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's true. Don't you find that like a lot of actors turn into life coaches?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They take the course.
A life coach.
Yeah. That's what I find they do. Yeah. That's crazy. He was an actor therapist.
I was an actor therapist.
Was he expensive?
Yeah.
Did he talk like this, like actory?
Kind of.
Ugh, I would not be able to handle that.
I really loved him and then I found that out. And then I was like, well, maybe not.
So they ended it.
I ended it.
Oh.
Yeah, now I have like an old Jewish guy. I feel like he knows everything.
Oh, yeah? So you still go to therapy?
I go to therapy,
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, no, I need it.
Do you have health care?
I do have health care.
What do you have?
I have Anthem.
Okay, that's nice, yeah.
Do you have health care?
Yes. I have LA Care, but it's too hard to get it. I mean...
It's so fucked up.
It's so fucked up. Yeah. It's okay. I'll just keep going to my healer, and if it gets really bad, then I'll wear some bracelets.
Wear some bracelets. I know like BetterHelp, this is not an ad for them, but I know that my friend Kim Congdon has a therapist that she loves on BetterHelp.
Really?
Yeah. It's like her favorite.
Oh, interesting.
She like loves him. His name's Paul. Yeah.
Okay. See, but then when I think back and I'm like, well, I also have like my therapist that would do it for free. Like maybe I should
Reach
take
out
him
to
back.
him?
Yeah, maybe I should go back, But then I think we're going to have to talk about our issues and it just seems exhausting.
It does seem like doing the work on like fixing whatever's happening in here is exhausting. And that's when once you start doing it, you start realizing why a lot of people don't do it. Because you're like...
Yeah.
It's
also, he would always be like, I think you should go on meds. And I was like, we don't talk enough for you to tell me. He's a very good therapist. He just is in like the retiring mode. So he's not like as consistent. But I was like, I don't want to go on meds. I just find I'm not suicidal. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just have a lot of self-doubt and get depressed. Or if something triggers me, then I like get depressed for a little bit. But it's not anything that's scary.
Right. Well, I was really hesitant to go on meds, and now I'm on meds.
You are?
Yeah,
and
I'm on
like
Prozac. Yeah, it's like somebody gives you like a life vest.
Whoa.
This is how I felt. Because I was so depressed.
Okay.
And it was like I had no serotonin. And then like right before my period, your serotonin drops even more. So it was like so dark.
Damn.
And I was like so desperate, and he's like, try this, and if it works, and it worked. But before he put me on Prozac, he put me on something else. And when you start taking something new, they like check in on you because sometimes it has the adverse effects.
Yeah.
And he gave me something, and I was like, this is making it worse. And then he switched me to this, and like I've been on it for a long time, and I feel really good on it.
That's good. My friend is on Prozac. She's like, when you got like really, really dark, were you like suicidal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was like thinking of a plan.
Whoa.
And that's why I got put on it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid of death. So like my depression will be me being like, what happens after we die? And then when we die, it's all over. It's like,
Yeah.
Not saying that maybe I do need it, and I do think that it helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm
and
not
it's
in that
also
state.
like, for me, it's also hormone related, like right before my period. That's why I'm also scared of getting pregnant after.
Honestly, I have what is it called where you get depressed before your period?
PMDD.
Yeah, I do have that.
Yeah.
So my doctor here was like, just take this the week of or whatever.
If you can take Prozac from the time you ovulate until the time you get your period.
Yeah, that's what he wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But I will say, don't be afraid because I actually have had way less anxiety.
Really?
I get more anxiety where I get panic attacks. And then once I get that, then the depression comes. But I also know I get also very, like sad before my period. But first of all, when you're pregnant, you don't get your period. So you don't get that depression.
That's awesome.
But my anxiety and my lows have been way less pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, except for the fires. But that was like I was packing up to evacuate and I'm due any day. And so then that chemical imbalance happened. And then I was just getting like I wasn't depressed. I was very low, but I was getting shaking panic attacks, like my jaw shaking and like that.
Yeah.
But I hadn't had it the whole time. Now my cousin got pregnant and she has PMDD and she was the opposite. She got more anxious. But for me, I've been like very stable.
That's awesome.
So I think it like
depends.
changed. Yeah, I think it depends.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to get pregnant because of that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Now, your career, absolutely. For sure. It's really, I don't know. But the PMDD, it might heal it.
Yes. Heal my PMDD. Oh my gosh. Well, that's our podcast. We really covered a lot.
Did we? I feel like
we talked about being pregnant. We talked about psychics. We talked about Prozac. We talked about a lot.
Yes. Okay. I hope it wasn't like too girly.
No, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. Okay. I want to have you on to talk about what's going on with you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, I don't want to be the like, oh, I'm pregnant person.
No.
Okay.
It's good. I can't let him have another man come on and talk about his tour or whatever. No.
Cool.
No, we got to diversify. We can't just have all the same podcasts. Oh. So this is coming out on February 5th.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were pulling up the lunar year. I thought we were doing more like
woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Yeah. The Lunar New Year is on the 29th, apparently. Yeah. So this is coming out on February 5th.
Cool.
You'll probably
have a baby
by then. Do you have a name picked out?
Yeah.
What is it? Can you say?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you after, only because all of a sudden I got superstitious and I was like, what if he comes out and like doesn't
look
it?
like? Yeah.
See the thought still. Does anybody else feel this way? No, he will make it. He's gonna be healthy. My healer says so. But I'll tell you off air because I was like, because I might not.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You might look at him and say, you know what? He's not that.
He's not that. He's not. It's really hard to come up with a name. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I bet that's like one of the hardest parts.
The hardest because you have to decide with somebody else.
Yeah. Well, did it take a while for you and your husband to get on the same page?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he have any bad suggestions?
Yeah, he had a Tyler. And I just felt like I know too many Tylers. That's the problem is like, too many guys that fucked you over.
And you're like, no, not Tyler.
Yeah. Or he'd be like, Hunter. And I was like, no, I fucked a Hunter. Like there's so many, or like, no, that guy bullied me in high school. That can't, yeah. It's more me that he doesn't like the names that I come up with because he calls them yacht boy names. Anything that ends in like Tristan or like anything that is an in at the end or
you're
like,
interested in.
Yeah. He's like, that's a yacht boy name. Like I liked Phoenix. He's like yacht boy name.
I love Phoenix.
Phoenix is great. He'd be so hot.
I know. Phoenix is such a good baby name. Yes. It's on my list.
Oh, and then he'll grow up hot. That's the other thing too. I was like, no, he's got to be hot. Like we got to get a name that's gonna make him like,
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Like that's a crazy name.
Yeah.
He was like, no, yacht boy. So it's so annoying.
That's so annoying. Yeah. Okay, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, Nikki Bon.
Okay, cool.
And YouTube, everything's Nikki Bon. You can find me on all the socials.
We'll link to it in the description so it'll be easy to find you. And you guys can find me here every Wednesday on Shank, every Monday on This Bitch. I am right now probably in Austin or about to be in Austin. So come see me. I'll be at the Mothership doing spots, and then patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk for bonus content. And I'm coming to somewhere in Canada in April with Kim Congdon. We're doing LOL Fest in some weird part of Canada that I've never been.
It is?
That's like Nova Scotia or something like that.
I'm Canadian. You're like, this really weird. I was like, oh, the province? It's a territory, Nova Scotia.
I don't even see it.
Nova Scotia?
No, this isn't it. It's LOL Comedy Fest, Canada. I don't know. That's what it's called.
Nova Scotia is a really fun college town.
It is?
Yeah, and really good oysters and stuff. Yeah, Nova Scotia's great.
Is this it? I don't know. This one's in Cancun. No. You can find it. I'll link to it somewhere else. But yeah, LOL Fest. Type in Canada.
And if you guys do know where I can sell my placenta, let me know.
Why can't we find it anywhere online? I think
just put in Nova Scotia, no?
I think that's where it is. I don't know. But I'll be posting more information on that soon. In the meantime, follow me at Princess Shank, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.